Welcome back, everybody. I'm back out here today at the Magic Kingdom, and summer is officially here. And with summer comes heat, humidity, crowds, and sudden rainstorms. So that means today we're going to be checking out all 7 shows within Magic Kingdom and ranking them for you. They are a perfect way to escape from the elements. Why don't you guys come along? Let's go make some memories together. All right, so for our first show, I think we should go and do Enchanted Tales with Belle first. And that's mostly because that's probably gonna have the highest weight out of anything we do today. Enchanted Tales with Belle is an interactive storytelling show starring Belle and some of her magical friends. The audience helps retell the story of Beauty and the Beast with extra help from a handful of younger participants who get to act out parts of the show. It also has some pretty unique special effects, including a very impressive pre-show. Take me back to the day Belle and Beast fell in love. Bonjour!
Now!
Surprise!
Once upon a time, there was a charming, intelligent young woman whose name was Belle. She searched, she could hear.
Papa! Anyone the way?
Us beast Belle had ever seen. Jump out and roar!
Alright, so here's how today's ranking is going to be working. We're going to be rating every show 1 through 5, with 5 being the best, and we're going to be covering the pros and cons of every single show that lead up to that score. So, number 1, Enchanted Tales with Belle. I think it's a fun show. I really like that it is a dedicated space for kids. I feel like it's great interaction for kids because kids get to be pulled up on stage and get to play the roles and get to help tell the story. It's also a dedicated place to meet Belle. You don't get to meet Belle inside Be Our Guest, which is a common misconception. She's not present in that restaurant. So if you're really looking to meet Belle, that's a great place to go do it. Even if you don't get to be in the show, I saw some guests get up and actually wait in a little bit of a line to actually take a picture with her, and you get photo pass with it too. And also from just a technological standpoint, I think it's really cool. Like the mirror that opens up, the animatronics like Lumiere are very, very cool. So someone who likes behind the scenes Disney things, that really scratches that itch of just seeing really unique, cool things. Now for some cons. Even though it's meant for kids, I think it's almost entirely too dedicated to children. As a childless millennial, I don't have kids that are in the show, nor am I normally the person that's picked to play the adult roles. It's fun to sit through, but like it doesn't feel super magical to me. I also don't feel like the wait for the show warrants how long the show actually is, which could be a good thing if you have a child that has a very low attention span. I only waited maybe 15-20 minutes for the show, which wasn't horrible at all. And I forget how short the show is because I was sitting there watching it and then I realized, oh, it's over. So I think I'm gonna give Enchanted Tales with Belle a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think it's a must-do. It's great if you have kids or you really want to meet Belle, but other than that, I think there are better shows for you guys to go spend your time at. And while we're here in Fantasyland, let's go ahead and cross Mickey's PhilharMagic off of our list. Mickey's PhilharMagic is a 3D show starring Mickey Mouse and his magical orchestra. Chaos ensues when Donald Duck gets a hold of Mickey's sorcerer hat and attempts to control the show himself. It features a medley of music from Disney classics like The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, and more. The show was even updated a few years back, adding a new segment based on Disney Pixar's Coco.
Wake up! It's showtime! Don't forget the orchestra! And don't
All right, Mickey's PhilharMagic. I think it is super fun. I always forget how enjoyable it is until I go in and actually see the show. It's a great medley of Disney tunes from the films that are featured in there. It's fun to sing along with them. They've got great special effects, including like smells and blasts of air. There's a lot of fun physical things like the screen moving up and just extending and just getting even larger and larger. And then the Donald Duck animatronic at the end is very, very cute, where he's stuck in the back of the theater. It also can hold a ton of people. I think I overheard that it can hold 400 guests. So it is a huge people eater, which means your waits are never gonna be long for it. So that means you can just escape to the AC even quicker. I also love that they've actually updated it. It's about a 20-plus-year-old attraction, and they added Coco about 2 years ago to it, which just kind of gave the show a new life and kind of gives you more of a reason to go see it. Now, some cons about the show, which is hard to find some for it. I wish that when they updated it, they updated the whole thing. We've had 20 years of technological difference since this attraction has opened, and with adding Coco, which has brand new animation that was made by Pixar, you have the older stuff combined with the new stuff, and it's just kind of jarring. I know it's like nitpicking, but I wish that they would have fully updated the entire thing. I know that takes time and money and effort and a bunch of different people involved, but it just would have been nice to see. Even though it's a fantastic show, I don't feel like it is a necessity. If you're wanting to really revel in Disney music and really escaping to the AC very quickly, I think it's a great show, but I don't think it's a must-do. There, again, are better shows here at Magic Kingdom that, personally, I think are more worth your time. I'm gonna give Mickey's PhilharMagic a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's a lot of fun. The 0.5 just is because it's not a necessity. It's really fun to go do, but again, I don't feel like you absolutely have to do it when you're here at Magic Kingdom. And speaking of the rain and elements, we may actually have some rain today, so this was a pretty perfect video to pick for today. All right, well, I say we head into Tomorrowland for our next 2 shows.
Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress is an audio animatronic show situated in a very unique rotating theater. It follows the average American family of the 20th century and the advancement of technology. The rotating nature of the theater makes it the longest running show in American theater history because it quite literally does not stop rotating. The show was created by Walt Disney himself and debuted at the 64-65 New York World's Fair. And it also contains one of the most catchiest Disney Parks tunes ever with There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Welcome to Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
Now, I am extremely biased about Carousel of Progress. I think it is one of the greatest Disney attractions ever created. I think the technology of the show is so creative. I love the rotating theater. That song will be forever ingrained into my brain. And I love that Walt Disney had a personal touch with it. Anything Walt Disney had a hand in doing just instantly shoots up to the top of my list because that's why we're here. That's what started all of this, was Walt Disney. Also, if you're in desperate need for a nap, as much as I love the show, that's a good napping spot. 20 full minutes of AC and darkness and pretty low crowds, because yes, there's always people in the show, but it doesn't feel like it draws a massive crowd to come and see it every single time, unless obviously you're here on an incredibly busy day. Now, even though I do love the show, I will say there's a couple cons with it. One is that people probably feel like it's really outdated, especially kids. They probably just won't get it, and I totally understand that. The farthest the show goes is up until basically the 80s, because in the last scene they mentioned things like car phones and house phones and all that kind of stuff, and technology that we just no longer have anymore, really. Also, because it is a 20-minute long show, you cannot leave that theater. Because it is a constantly rotating showroom, for your safety, you cannot exit. If you do get up or you do exit at any point, the show does have to restart, and because it is a constantly rotating show, you will be forced to watch that same show scene again, which will just add another 5 minutes to your show. So make sure you guys have enough time dedicated to watching that show prior to entering it, including going to the bathroom. Now, Carousel of Progress. Obviously, as much as I'm gushing about it, I'm giving it a full 5 out of 5. It is, again, one of the greatest Disney things ever created. Walt Disney had his hand in it. I love the technology, I love the song, and there's just so much positivity to say about it. So yeah, our first 5 out of 5 today. Hi, Stitch. How are you? It's good to see you today. Bye, bud. Take care. Well, originally I was going to go see Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. However, they're having technical difficulties. So we're going to skip that show for now. And I don't know if you guys can see above me, but that sky is getting even more ominous than before. So we are going to go head over towards Liberty Square and see if we can go catch Hall of Presidents. That's a very high capacity show, and might be a good chance to escape from the rain that's getting ready to start any minute. I feel like a weatherman in this weather. Well, Steven, you can see right behind me is Cinderella Castle. We are in the middle of a torrential downpour. Came out of nowhere, as does most Florida weather. As you can see, the crowds have also ran for cover. That means I should probably get inside too. Back to you in the studio.
Hall of Presidents is an audio animatronic show showcasing American history and its leaders. It acts as a sort of sequel or continuation of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln out of Disneyland. Every single U.S. president is featured on stage in audio animatronic form, adding more as each new leader is elected. The lobby beforehand is also a museum with presidential artifacts and an official presidential seal, the only other one outside the Oval Office.
All right, let's talk Hall of Presidents. I think it is a wonderful use of audio animatronics. It is very cool from a technological standpoint. The fact that there are over 50 animatronics on stage, some of which who speak, they all acknowledge each other as they go down the line, and they reference that each president is sitting in the room with them. It's also perfect for you if you're a history buff. If you care about American history a lot, it goes over quite a bit and kind of makes you feel pretty patriotic towards the end. Also, again, being a Disney history buff, I love anything that has to do with Walt Disney. So the fact that Walt Disney not actually had a hand in this project, but the predecessor, the one that's out of Disneyland, the fact that he had stuff to do with that and helped create it, just means even more to me. It's also a prime nap spot. It's a decently long show. You're in the dark. It's AC'd. And it doesn't really draw a huge crowd, but it can set a large audience. So you may end up having an entire section of that theater to yourself. Now, some cons with the show. It's kind of boring. If you're not a history buff, or if you're a kid, you may feel like you're in school. You're here on vacation. You're not really here to learn about American history, so you may not care about it. Walt Disney World gets a ton of foreign visitors. You may not care about our politics or our leaders. I know if I went to another country, I may not really care about seeing an entire show dedicated to their leaders. It may be fun to watch, may be enjoyable, but I'm not invested, say, I would be as an American. So I'm gonna give my rating of a 3-star out of 5 to the Hall of Presidents. Again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the attraction, but if you're not invested in American politics, and even if you're American, you don't care about sitting through a history lesson, this might be something skippable to you. However, in the instance of today where it downpoured right before I got in, it worked out perfectly because the rain has stopped. So it's a wonderful escape from the rain, but I'm gonna have to give it a 3-star. Well, Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor is still down, and the 3 o'clock parade's getting ready to pass through Frontierland. The bigger we come into Adventureland for the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room is an audio animatronic show starring a cast of singing tropical birds, flowers, and more. This attraction was the very first use of audio animatronics in Disney history, paving the way for all future animatronics up until ones even created today. Like Carousel of Progress, this show has another musical earworm with the Tiki Room, also written by the Sherman Brothers.
Wake up, Jose!
What is this, senorita?
Because of this attraction's cultural significance to Disney and Disney attractions, obviously it shoots very, very high towards the top of my list. The music is wonderful and all of it. It's overall just truly, truly great. It's very hard to find cons for it, with the only thing I can think of is that comparing it to Disneyland's, it is significantly shorter. I am used to Disneyland's version. I'm used to being able to bring my Dole Whip inside the theater. I'm used to the longer show. Given Disney World's capacity and how fast it needs to turn guests in and out of attractions, that makes sense. But honestly, I'm giving this a full 5. It's very hard to, again, find cons for this attraction because it is just so wonderful. This has definitely been the easiest one to grade so far. and definitely something that you cannot miss when coming to Walt Disney World. Well, by this point, the parade should have passed through. We're gonna cut through this little awning here and head over to Frontierland. Let's go see some bears.
Country Bear Jamboree is our final audio animatronic show here in Magic Kingdom. It stars, you guessed it, a gang of bears as they put on a musical comedy variety show. Like many audio animatronic projects, Walt Disney did have a hand in creating this, but unfortunately did not get to see the final product.
Country Bear Jamboree all wrapped up. Again, I love that show. I think it is so fun. I think it's hilarious. I love the music that's featured in it. I don't even like country, and I think it is so fun. I love that Walt Disney had a hand in it. I love audio animatronic shows. This is another one that was kind of hard to find a con for. The only thing I can think of is that some people just don't get it. It's a very strange show. You have anthropomorphic bears singing country music, and some of them are a little questionable in terms of song choice, at least by today's standard. Even me, a big Disney adult, I didn't quite understand the hype for it for a number of years. But the more I've watched it, the more I've come to love it, and the more I truly get it. That's why I'm giving Country Bear Jamboree a coveted 5 out of 5. That might be a hot take, because I don't know if most people agree with me on that one. But I personally think it's great, and I think it's something you can't miss here at Disney World. Well, friends, our final show was supposed to be Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. However, it's still down. Luckily for everyone, I have seen the show before, and I can tell you all about it.
Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor is an animated improv comedy show starring Mike Wazowski that follows the events of the original film, where monsters no longer use screams for their energy, but use your laughter instead. You can even text your own jokes before the show for a chance to have them featured, but beware, you may be more involved in the show than you originally wanted to be.
Hello, humans!
Ah!
Very good!
Absolutely not.
Well, I know everything about the human world. I studied for about 5 minutes last night, and I can name the capital of any human country. Let's start with that. Okay. The capital of Argentina is A. Humans, please raise your hand if you know where you live. This could be anyone. Oh, except for that guy. Oh, excuse me. He kind of matches the furniture and blends in. Oh, yeah, floating head. Okay, anyway.
Hello, humans!
Ah!
Well, look at that. You all remembered. Yeah, even that guy. How's it going, that guy? Jenna? Jenna?
Did you tell the audience a number?
Yes. Okay, I couldn't hear anything. I had my eyes closed. Okay, Jenna, we are not going to link up our minds. Put your hands on your head. Grab those safety goggles and lower them. Good luck for you, Jenna. Okay.
Well, I guess I have to promote the one responsible.
Oh yeah, what's my new title?
Not you, Wazowski.
That guy.
Give him a big hand.
Laugh Floor is a truly hilarious show because they hire some amazing actors to do this. I love improv comedy, and the faster you can throw jokes my way that catch me off guard, the harder I'm going to laugh at it. I love the technology for it. I love that the monsters on screen mouth the same way that the actors do off stage, so it really feels like you're interacting with the monsters on stage instead of a human. And even though it is funny, and I do enjoy it, this is my most anxiety-inducing experience here in the Magic Kingdom. And that's because I don't like to be picked for things. I am all for doing comedic bits and having fun and being silly, but I don't like the spotlight being on me when it's not in my court. You know what I mean? I don't want to be randomly picked in a sea of people to get up and do a dance or to get up and tell a joke because I freeze. I can't do it. So I dread going into the show sometimes. I have sat at the back most, if not every time I've seen this show, and I've thankfully been avoided. I don't know if that's intentional for the design of the audience, but I know one of these days I'm going to be picked to be that guy, or I'm going to be picked to get up and dance or something like that. So if you don't like audience participation, this is not a show for you. Again, you could sit at the back and you could try to avoid as much as possible, but I can't guarantee that you won't be selected for it. And also a little bit of a nitpick, not every comedian is the exact same. So not every show I've had has been top tier. The last one I saw wasn't as funny as the one I saw before that. It's just a roll of the dice. There were different jokes, but it's just a roll of the dice. That's why I'm gonna give Laugh Floor a 3.5 out of 5. It's a lot of fun for audience participation, but it's not fun if you are the one picked. Unless you really like that stuff, then good for you. Well, friends, that wraps up today's trip out here to Magic Kingdom to watch all 7 shows and rank them. I thoroughly hope you guys enjoyed coming out with me today, and I hope you guys found some ways to escape from the elements. Now, if I could have a drum roll, please. Here is the definitive ranking of all 7 Magic Kingdom shows. In 7th place, our final ranking with 3 stars comes Hall of Presidents. Again, nothing wrong with the show, but it's just a little boring because I'm not necessarily here to learn about history. It's got some wonderful audio animatronics, but not the most interesting show to watch. For our next placement with 3.5 stars, we have a tie between Enchanted Tales with Belle and Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. You can tell by those placements, that's because they require audience participation, which is not my favorite thing to do. Belle is a little bit different than Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, since Belle you get picked prior to going in, but I think Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor is a way more enjoyable show than Enchanted Tales with Belle. Our next placing with 4.5 stars, almost a 5, but 4.5, is going to be Mickey's PhilharMagic. It's a great show with a fun medley of Disney tunes, but I don't see it as a must-do unless you're just really heavy on hearing those songs again, or you just want a great way to get out of the AC very quickly. And in a 3-way tie for our first place, which is no surprise to me because I knew what they were going to be coming in because I love these shows so much, are Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, and Country Bears. All 3 are audio animatronic shows that Walt Disney had a very heavy hand in creating and have kind of been the building blocks for the attractions we have today. Let me know in the comments below, did I rank these incorrectly? What do you guys think these should be ranked as? If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you guys get updates on all of our future adventures. And as always, thanks for making memories with us. We'll see you next time.